For this question, we're considering how many lone pairs does each of these molecules have around the central atom. So in order to figure out what that looks like, or how many lone pairs there are, we need to first figure out what the geometry of each of these molecules look like. So let's start with PCl3. So you might have gotten your geometry to look like this. Your essential atom should be the phosphorus, and your total number of valence electrons should be equal to 26. 5 electrons from the phosphorus and 7 electrons from each of the chlorines. So taking that and assuming if you have full octets around each of these chlorines here, 26 minus 8 times 3, which is 24, you get 2 electrons, which you can find 2 electrons here, and that makes 1 lone pair. So let's take a look at carbon dioxide. So you have your central atom to be carbon, and you have 16 valence electrons in total. So each of these oxygens here are double bonded to the carbon in order to make sure they have full octets here. I can see that I omitted the electrons here, but because we're only looking at the carbon here for lone pairs, I've decided to omit electrons from each of these terminal atoms. So for our carbon dioxide, we actually don't have any lone pairs. So taking a look at BCl3, our central atom is going to be bromine because it is the least electronegative atom out of all the atoms in this molecule. And we have a total number of valence electrons of 28. So 28 minus 24, because there are three chlorines, and assuming that each of them have a full octet, we have 24 electrons. So 28 minus 24 is 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons surrounding the bromine in the form of lone pair electrons, and that makes up 2 lone pairs. So finally, we have NCl3. You might get a structure that looks like this. And our central atom is our nitrogen, which contributes 5 electrons. And we have 7 electrons from each of the chlorines, and you get a total number of valence electrons of 26. And using the method we have used for our other molecules, assuming full octets for the chlorines, so that's 3 times 8, which is 24. So 26 minus 24 is 2. So you have 2 electrons here, and that makes 1 lone pair.